Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a layout for Some Assemblage Required. Now, if you don't know what Some Assemblage Required is, where have you been? This is MK's shop. She has fabulous products. MK and I are good friends and I am on her team, which makes me ridiculously happy. We also have a business partnership where I supply the stencils for her embellishment boxes. Now, this stencil is the Some Assemblage Required size, and this stencil is the size that you will get if you purchase it on Scrapping Reflections. So it is if I can get it, it is the same stencil, just a larger size. And I'm going to use both of them on my layout today, along with some of these gorgeous acrylic pieces. And of course, I'm playing with stars, so I am going to be doing a Star Wars layout. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so this layout turns out to be a lot. It actually took a very long time to dry before I could even mess around with it. And you will see why. So I'm taking the Stars and Squares stencil right here, and I am pushing some embossing ink through that stencil, and then I just went ahead and put some embossing ink in the other places as well. So now I have this big old gold bit of embossing powder on my layout. And look at that magic. Oh my word, you guys. So I absolutely adore embossing. I think it is the most magical thing ever. Look how it just goes from powder to the smooth and melted gloriousness, right? Like, oh my word, I love it so much. I would be the person that would sit and just watch embossing videos and stencil reveal videos. Like, yeah, I could just sit and watch those all day long. Okay, so I have that down. And now I have my 3 photos. So these are 3 photos during, what is that ride called? Rise of the Resistance. And I just want to have them travel straight across the page, but I want the stars to be sticking out from either side of the photos. So I have tons and tons of Star Wars photos. I have tons and tons of Rise of the Resistance photos from multiple trips, and I keep scrapbooking them because we had so much fun. I just want to keep doing it. So here I have some Ranger Stickles glitter gel, and look at that, a brand new jar, and it is already very glumpy. So it's already starting to dry out. So I mixed it with my Brutus Monroe Emerald Glitter Glaze, okay? So I've got 2 different types of glitter glazes in there, and as you can see, I am putting it over top of this stencil very thick. 2 reasons. One was because I wanted it to be bam, in your face kind of sparkle, and 2, because the Stickles glitter gel was so glumpy. Like it's just thick right now, right? Like it's just thick. So I'm gonna set that side to dry, and dry it does for many an hour, many an hour. And then I bring it back over, and I'm going to place some gray paper down to kind of give my photos a little bit of a resting spot before they get on top of the star stuff that's going on. Now, these photos have been trimmed down. I think I trimmed them down to 5.5 instead of 6 inches because 6 inches plus my little piece of paper that I wanted there would have caused me to cover up way too much of the stars, right? And like, I don't want the stars to be covered up. I want you to see them. I want to actually really play off of the stars and add more stars. So I pulled out these chipboard stars, and how many times can I say stars, right? Like, oh my word. It's almost drinking game level. Now, I said that once before for something I was saying on a layout when I was doing a voiceover, and my husband just looked at me and shook his head like, "Are you serious right now, Sandy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm serious right now." Serious, I mean, I take scrapbooking pretty seriously, so here we are. So these beautiful chipboard stars, you possibly still can pick up in MK shop. I was bad and didn't look at the shop and see what was still available, so I'm sorry if it's not available. But these are chipboard stars. I'm going to color them. I'm going to color one green and one gold, and then I'm also going to emboss. So here's the thing, guys. These are Faber-Castell pens, and I picked them up on clearance. As you can see, there are orange clearance stickers wrapped around the pens, and I just could not be bothered to actually take the clearance sticker off. I just couldn't be bothered with it. Now, you might be like, that's kind of lazy, but you know what? Sometimes, and honestly, you guys, I think it's okay to be lazy sometimes with some of the things in your scrapbooking, right? Like if you are a lazy scrapbooker, then hey, that's who you are. Embrace it, own it, and love it. That's the way I feel about it. However, if you want to be I don't know, an overachiever scrapbooker, what are we gonna call the opposite of a lazy scrapbooker? Because some of the things I scrapbook, I'm lazy with, and some of the things I am not. So I go ahead and color in these stars. So like I said, with my gold pen and my green pen, and then I'm going to emboss these bad boys as well. So ultimately, I just emboss clear embossing powder over top of the green stars, but the gold pen over that chipboard, you know, chipboard is like a dull khaki color, grayish, grungy grayish kind of color. And it just wasn't giving me the level of shine that I wanted because of the embossing powder that I have going on the layout and all of that glitter glaze, right? Like my Star Wars layout is all about the bam, shimmer and shine in your face. So I couldn't have a dull gold star. It just didn't make sense to me. So for the gold stars, I did emboss them with the gold embossing powder. However, with the green stars, I am just going to emboss them with icicle embossing powder, which is clear embossing powder. Now, the clear embossing powder that I have is in a larger jar than like a standard embossing powder jar because I love it so much. And I love the fact that I can just dip some of the little things that I emboss right in there. It's like a beautiful thing. So now I'm going to use my little Swiffer to get rid of some of the dust, and I'm going to figure out where I want these stars. Now, I got this glue gun recently, and I am not going to lie, I am all about gluing with my glue gun on my layouts right now. So if that's making you cringe, just close your eyes, squint a little bit, look through, act like it's like a Glue Glider Pro or anything like that. Does anybody remember the Glue Glider Pro? Is that one still around? I'm not sure. So I am going to glue these suckers down. Now, I will say if you're not going to glue gun over top of glitter glaze or embossing powder, I would suggest that you use a liquid adhesive because it will get into the nooks and the crannies, and it will hold your pieces onto your layout much, much better than some sort of tape runner will. So now I've pulled out the acrylic stars from some assemblage required, and I love these acrylic stars. So the one side of the black acrylic is matte, and the other side is shiny, and I left the backing on the shiny side and went ahead and used the matte side because I find it absolutely thrilling to have matte acrylic on my layout. So I'm going to add some adhesive more to the photos because I didn't know if I was going to tuck things under. I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing there. So I go ahead and just make sure my photos are going to stay stuck down. And now I am putting on some rhinestones because why not? I mean, how many other super shiny things can you get on this layout? So obviously I can get more because I'm adding this line of rhinestones. And I love it, right? Like, I just love it. And that's what matters. So now I'm going to put those stars back in. I'm thinking, do I need more stars? What else do I need on this layout? I need a title, right? So I start out with using these letters, and I thought that they were going to work for me, but they don't. I end up taking them off because I feel like they kind of get lost right there on top of the layout. Like, that black kind of blends in with the thickness of the stencil line because it's a very similar thickness. And I'm like, that's not going to work. Like, I need something that is going to pop. I need something that is going to stand up against the shining, shimmering splendidness of this layout because holy Moses, you guys, the lighting is not doing this justice. That gold is shiny and the glitter glaze is super shining, shimmering, splendid. So I decide to go with a white foam thicker. Now, I don't have any S's, so I do take the number 8 and cut apart that bad boy and Frankenstein him up so that I have 2 S's. And I spell out Star Wars because, you know, I'm so creative with my titles. So that is down there. Now, I do have those acrylic clouds that I thought I was going to add onto this layout as well, but I figured that they would kind of get lost with all of the star background that I have going on. So I'm going to save those for another layout. I'm really excited to use them. I'm thinking maybe a Toy Story layout. Just saying. And then I thought I would be funny and add some tile letter stickers that say more for more Star Wars because it's a ridiculous amount of layouts that I have for Star Wars Land. I added a couple more acrylic stars from the Some Assemblage Required shop. And now that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Look at that glitter glaze. Is that not the most gorgeous thing ever? Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.